A big victory for Donovan McNabb and the Washington Redskins. They're going to be talking about this loss in Dallas, I'm sure, all week. Say hello to Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders, who know a lot about that and what goes on in Dallas. Steve Mariucci with us as well. I'm Fran Charles. Another huge game that's going to get a lot of water cooler conversation. Bears taking on the Lions. Jay Cutler with 26 picks a year ago. Trying to rectify that. Job and Best looked good the preseason. A good 7-yard touchdown run here.
This guy's got some scoots now. He won the 100 meters in California at Salesian High School, then went to Cal. I like this joint.
They had a couple of touchdowns on the day. Lions up 7-3, 14-3. Cutler to Forte.
Look at the speed.
The only way you can make this type of run is blocking. The receivers blocking, the tight ends block, the lines blocking. A team effort. Great run.
89 yards. Remember, he had a 91-yard touchdown run in the preseason. All right, the third play of the Lions and still in possession. This is why you get Julius Peppers.
Yeah, he's worth all the dollars you spend on him. He's supposed to hit the quarterback. It's unfortunate now that Matthew Stafford has an injured shoulder for a few weeks. They needed him. Boy, that's a tough blow to the Lions.
Stafford's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Fourth quarter, 10:45 left in the game. So Sean Hill is going to come in and back up Stafford here. Lance Briggs up the A-gap with a great play.
Great timing, Michael. Great anticipation of the snap count in a trifecta. The strip, the Colts fumble, and the tackle.
But the Bears offense struggled for much of the day. And that Forte stuffed by Zach Follett. And so Lovie Smith going for it instead of kicking the field goal to get the lead.
Yeah, run at Ndamukong Suh. I don't think so. Stopped them right there. What a goal line stand by the Lions.
Sneak.
Detroit played some defense now.
All right, Kyle Vanden Bosch with the huge stop. So Lions are trying to capitalize. Sean Hill has to throw it away here on a 3rd and 10 on his own 14. So the Bears defense doing what it's supposed to do. You give Jay Cutler enough opportunities, and he can do that to you.
Yeah, that's Matt Forte again. Not a screen. It's a wheel route down the sideline. He's a good pass receiver as well. Win the game on the end with Cutler throwing to Matt Forte.
Mike Marks looks like he has Marshall Faulk again, and he's using him in Matt Forte.
Sean Hill, the Calvin Johnson, 16 yards to the Bears, 25. Hill rolling out. Johnson goes up to catch.
What are you
It's
thinking?
a touchdown for the Lions.
Receiver 6'5", and you. Oh, my goodness.
But actually, it was ruled incomplete.
Yeah, we got to look at this now.
Yeah, this is.
There's the catch.
All right, you have to, if you're headed to the ground, you have to hold on to possession. Now, here's former VP of officiating Mike Pereira.
This is the process. He's considered going to the ground, and when you go to the ground, you have to hold on to the ball after hitting the ground. It's all a process. In the end zone, it's not dead as soon as he gets possession. This is one where even after you hit, you got to maintain possession of the ball.
A killer for Calvin Johnson and the Lions. So the ruling on the field as an incomplete pass stood. 18 seconds left. 4th and 10. Hill looking for Johnson again, but it is overthrown. So the Bears.
Third time they did it. By the time the safety got over there.
Yeah, he's late.
Sean Hill getting the start in place of the injured Matthew Stafford, and Kevin Cobb concussed and out. That's time for So Michael Vick, as I said, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns. His first win as a starter since 2006. And after the game, Andy Reid said his starter next week against Jacksonville in Florida is Kevin Cobb.
NFC North battle in Minnesota. The Lions at the Vikings. Brad Childress and his Vikes looking to avoid an 0-3 start. Brett Favre, 4 interceptions through only 2 games. No score. Vikings third possession. Favre looking at Toby Gerhardt. How about this play?
Who's that one on, Jamie?
That is Brett Favre's fault.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Give a little credit to Corey Williams. Big guy getting out there and picking it off.
Nimble, too.
Lions will take advantage. Sean Hill to Tony Scheffler. 5-yard touch. Lions on top, 7-0.
Check out the hop. Scheffler with the...
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you're a Vikings fan, you just got to be fearing the worst at this point, don't you?
This is a play that really stood out to you, Tom, right
here.
No
question. We watched this play, and I said to you, Paul Burmeister, this could be the change. This could be one of those inflection points in the season. Watch Brett Favre will throw a touchdown pass on the very next play, and wouldn't you know?
He really did say that, Jim.
I did.
He did.
He did?
I said, how could this change your season? That turnover, momentum. I actually said to Bernard Berrien or Visante Shanko, I did not predict Percy Harvin, but for the Vikings, even better that it's Harvin. Get him involved.
Second quarter, all tied at 7. Favre sacks and fumbles recovered by the Lions. There's that offensive line you were talking about.
Absolute sieve up front. This team's just not built to do that. And so there's a lot of work that's got to be done, but you see the penalty right there.
Yeah.
He grabbed his helmet. They get the ball back, which was a huge play.
Favre only sacked twice, but he had to have been hit 10 or 12 other times.
7 plays later, Adrian Peterson 6 yards in for the score. The Vikings lead 14-7.
Well, this is what they need to do, is it not? Until they get their rhythm in the passing game, it's just continue to turn around and hand it to AP.
Absolutely.
More pressure on Favre this time by Cliff Averill.
And whose fault is that?
That one is on the offensive tackle. I believe Phil Lodeholt did not protect his quarterback.
Interception by Alfonso Smith led to a field goal. Lions trailing only 14-10 at halftime. Third quarter, Favre looking for Greg Lewis. Intercepted by Chris Houston, but a penalty flag that works in the favor of Brett Favre.
I thought that was just a miscommunication with Greg Lewis. Greg Lewis didn't look like he knew what the play was.
He got beat to the spot, and that's the problem that the receivers have had. You know that he got muscled to the spot, and he let the guy beat him on the inside.
That's if it was a hook route. Maybe it was a go route, and Brett just threw the ball.
Speaking of go, how about that? AP.
80 yards go. Vikings lead 24-10.
Well, that's not a bad fallback plan, is it?
No.
When your passing game isn't working, that you could turn around and hand it to him?
That should be the primary plan at this point.
Vikings leading by 14 at that point, and on the next Detroit possession, Lions offense in a tough spot, facing 3rd and 20. Sean Hill sacked by Brian Robinson. Scrum ensues for the ball. Ray Edwards knocks Rob Sims. Jared Allen throws Sean Hill. Hill gets back up.
Game on.
Yeah, nice tackle by the offensive lineman.
Ooh, Sean Hill wants a piece, too. That's not a fight you're going to win, Sean.
Sean fighting for his boys.
Yeah.
Leave him alone,
I like
John.
it, but Jared Allen's not the guy you probably want to square off with.
And Brett Favre on the sideline liking the fight his team is showing.
Now he's saying to his people, can you guys just block for me now?
No, he's saying
somebody protect me.
That's a leader right there. Wow.
Fourth quarter, here's a ball on the ground. Toby Gerhardt fumbles, recovered by Louis Delmas. Lions ball at their own 22.
You know, still way too many mistakes for the Vikings. 12 penalties, 3 turnovers.
Ensuing Detroit possession, 2:51 left. Sean Hill intercepted by Ben Lieber in the end zone, and that was pretty much it for Detroit.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Now they've got 2 weeks to solve their problems, right?
Now they can go to training camp. See,
right.
that Favre didn't have a training camp. Now
all
you get
that aerial rust.
Now where you knock that aerial rust off is you get somebody to step up and make some plays in the passing game.
Vikings win 24-10. Brett Favre, 23 out of 34, a touchdown, but also had the 2 interceptions. Mike McCarthy coaching, Matthew Stafford watching Packers' first possession. Aaron Rodgers looking for Donald Driver, 29-yard touchdown, Green Bay up 7-0.
That's a pretty thrown back.
And you think that's game over.
Yeah.
Right there, it's over. Have a nice day. Aaron Rodgers doing what he does. Started this game 8 for 9, 3 touchdowns.
Well, they let the Detroit Lions back in the game.
Now, John at best been pretty good this season, but that's a touchdown pass to Calvin Johnson, 23 yards.
Calvin Johnson, big day as well, 2 touchdown catches.
Game tied at 7, but here's Job at best, putting it on the ground.
Can't do that. Can't do that, especially against an offense that's as powerful as the Green Bay Packers.
And that was the second turnover of the half for Detroit, 4 plays later. That ball could have been thrown to one spot. That's where it ended up.
Watch this. And could only be thrown by maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks in the league. Wow. That's beautiful.
Nice catch.
How good is the kid, Jermichael Finley?
Love him.
Leading tight end in the National Football League for receiving yards. Packers' next possession.
Free play. Aaron Rodgers drops back. Don't give Aaron Rodgers free because you know he's going down the field. Chances are to Donald Driver.
Penalty was declined.
Described.
Detroit still had 9 penalties in the first half.
Or you were just guessing? Just
watch the game.
Rodgers to Greg Jennings, another Green Bay touchdown.
And at this point again, 8 for 9, buck 31. But things change.
That would change. Sean Hill coming right back to Calvin Johnson. Goes up and gets it. 21-yard touchdown in Detroit, apparently not going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know how you defend that any better. Charles Woodson's underneath. Charles Johnson.
Yeah, you jump up and
I mean, you got him bracketed. That's just
and that's the throw that Brett Favre makes.
That's right.
Just so you know, that's the throw that Brett Favre makes.
The Favre shoulder throw.
Absolutely. No, the far shoulder double coverage throw.
Now, we've seen this before. Charles Woodson with the pick, and he would eventually get 6 and actually leaped the final 6 yards into the end zone.
Wow.
Can't believe it's a game at this point.
No, you can't. I mean, this game was over fast.
Calvin Johnson almost able to deflect that pass.
That play was reviewed, but it counts his 10th career interception return for a touchdown.
I only had 9 as a receiver, for crying out loud.
Things looking not so good for Green Bay. Jordy Nelson puts it on the ground. That led to a Detroit field goal, and the Lions down only 28-26. Next Green Bay possession, Rodgers looking for Greg Jennings. Picked off by Alfonso Smith.
Here's the difference with this year's Detroit Lions. You can't let them hang around because they are much more competitive. A year ago, 2 years ago, you could play this way if you're Green Bay and still win by a couple of scores.
And Aaron's right to be mad. I mean, that's a play. That's a good throw. Receivers got to make sure either he gets the ball or he comes down with it, or the ball hits the ground.
That's a good throw. Hill to Brandon Pettigrew, 19-yard gain. Matthew Stafford likes what he sees.
He's got some playmakers. Pettigrew, Johnson, Scheffler, Best.
This is looking for Johnson, but broken up by Charles Woodson.
And he's not going to get that call either.
No. Lions fall 28-26. Aaron Rodgers started out really fast, kind of cooled off a bit, but his team now 3-1.
Lions looking for their first win of the season. Sam Bradford looking to win his 3rd straight game. Sean Hill 3-0 as the starter in his career against the Rams, who start off the game with a surprise onside kick. But it did not work. Detroit recovers, and that would be indicative of how the entire game would go for St. Louis. Lions take a field goal on the play, and starting off 3-3 at the second quarter, Stephen Logan, he will return the kick, running into his man across midfield, and he is just gone. Stephen Logan returns it 105 yards for a touchdown. Detroit takes a 10-3 lead in the game. Big play by Detroit on special teams. On their next possession, Sean Hill rolls and finds Nate Burleson for a pickup of 13 yards. Everything looking good for Detroit early on. 3rd and 8, 3 plays later, Sean Hill this time, he finds Javid Best, who cuts it back to the outside and picks up 22 yards before being pushed out of bounds. 1st and goal play, 13th play of the drive, looking end zone for Calvin Johnson, and he comes down with his Sean Hill with the touchdown pass to Megatron. A 13-play drive taken up just over 7 minutes, puts Detroit up 17-3. On their next possession, Sean Hill looking for Megatron once again. 4 catches and 54 yards in the game for Megatron, plus that touchdown. A couple plays later, still on the same drive, Sean Hill looking for Calvin Johnson in the end zone. Looks like he comes down with it. Initially ruled a touchdown, but did he get both feet in before getting pushed out of bounds? There would be a replay and a review. The play was reversed, ruled an incomplete pass, only got 1 foot down, so no touchdown on the play. 6 plays later, 18 seconds to go. All kinds of time for Sean Hill right before halftime. He gets a touchdown pass to Brandon Pettigrew, a 3-yard score. That puts Detroit up 24-6 at the half. A 12-play drive for them. It was all Detroit's offense in this game. First possession of the 3rd quarter, and Sean Hill finds Nate Burleson for a 26-yard score. He picks up a flag for celebrating. They're up 31-6. It wouldn't even matter. On to the 4th. First Rams possession of the quarter. Ball deflected and bouncing up in the air. And Ndamukong Suh gets the interception. Takes it all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big, big win for Detroit. Their first victory of the season. They're now 1-4.
Game on the road as a Lions coach.
It ain't easy.
Minus 24.
And trying to get across that line in the New Meadowlands against the surging Giants team. This game was tied at 7 shortly before halftime when Manning finds Manningham. And that's the 20,000-yard mark for Manning's career on that drive he passed. So it's 14-7, Giants up, but there was enough time left for Sean Hill to break his arm.
Yeah, this is a shame. This is a shame because he's been playing very, very well for the Lions. Now you're going to have Drew Stanton, the youngster.
Because Matthew Stafford still isn't ready. He was the 3rd emergency quarterback on this day, and they didn't break that emergency glass on Sunday. 3rd quarter, Lions down 14-10, and here's Drew Stanton. Look out below. It's the Justin Tuck rule right there as he jumps on the loose ball, does Justin Tuck. That led to another Eli Manning touchdown pass as OC is fired up, coming off the edge, stripping the ball for Tuck to recover. So it's 21-10, and just when you thought it was over, that's when Stanton finds Calvin Johnson, who's gone.
Yeah, sooner or later, you get the guy, the ball, he's 6'5", he held it up.
He held it up. You know, a few weeks ago, I picked this guy as the second best receiver in the league right now, and he's showing that he is just that.
Behind who?
Behind the other Johnson.
The other Johnson. The other one, right? So it's 21-17 with 5 minutes to go, and Nate Burleson with an 8-yard gain. But the Giants think they have the football. Deion Grant comes out with it, and the ball does come loose before his knees hit the ground.
Yeah, that's out.
And that's a big turnover because the Lions were driving, and in the first play after getting the ball, Bradshaw pops one free for 45 yards. Bradshaw had 133 yards on 19 carries, his 22nd carry of 10 or more yards, which leads the NFL this season. The Giants score and go up by 8. Drew Stanton, however, has a minute 15 left to try and make something happen. Maybe get in the end zone, maybe get 2 points. No timeouts for the Lions, and Stanton scrambles for 20 yards. 4 plays later, at the Giants' 38, Stanton is picked.
Little bit high on the throw. Good decision to go to Pettigrew. Little bit high.
Pettigrew should have had that ball.
Catch that thing.
Catchable ball. Real high, like you said, Coach, but a very catchable ball.
Good win. These guys are losing.
All right, let's take it to Washington. A wild back-and-forth game.
That's where I want to go.
Had 4 picks a week ago. Came into this game leading the NFL with 5 picks. And Matthew Stafford, making his first start since week 1 with that injured shoulder, is picked off by Hall.
Yeah, if I'm Matthew Stafford, I'm going to throw the ball up to Calvin Johnson. Angelo Hall, though. Another play.
Yes, he did.
Again.
And, Deion, what about these young players here for the Detroit Lions?
I got to give a lot of credit for General Manager Martin Ray, former teammate of Florida State of mine. This guy has assembled a group of young linemen that are going to be beasts in the future.
Vanden Bosch, Averill, Sue, all with 2 sacks on the day. Stafford and Calvin Johnson, who's a man. He leans over for the 13-yard touchdown.
Just a beast in this league now. Great receivers catch the passes and make things happen after the catch.
All right, Lions on top 7-0. Donovan McNabb doesn't see anyone downfield.
He can still move.
36 yards. Ryan Terrain to finish the drive with the TD receptions. The Redskins tied the game up at 7. They led 13-7 at the break. Third quarter here, Lions lining up for a field goal, but there's a penalty on the play, encroachment by the Redskins. So the Lions get a first down. 2nd and goal. It is Stafford to another young, budding offensive weapon, Brandon Pettigrew. Lions on top 14-13.
And draft choice from Oklahoma State last year.
Oh, what a day it was for this young man, Brandon Banks.
We only show you this for 1 or 2 reasons. He's a big player of boo-boo.
Nick Harris tripped him up there, 36 yards. McNabb to Anthony Armstrong, the rookie, 35 yards.
No, not yet.
To the 11. 2nd and 4, Keelan Williams.
Is that why they put on?
No.
Redskins on top, 19-14. Went for 2, didn't get it. All right, Lions now. Get it right back. Can Stafford come up with another comeback? Looking for Calvin Johnson. And Johnson, 13 yards for the first down.
He catches deep balls as well as going in traffic.
There he is again. 2 plays later, it's Stafford to Johnson for the 7-yard touchdown. Lions on top 20-19. Went for 2, didn't get it. The ensuing kickoff.
Here he is.
Banks.
We only show you this for 1 or 2 reasons. Look at the blocking. Look at the speed. The guy's only about $150, $160, directing traffic, breaking tackles, and you're not going to catch a young fella. He made Jesco prime time tonight, playmaker.
He also had a punt return that was called back. He had 271 total return yards on the day. They went for 2, didn't get it. All right, 25-20. McNabb looking for Joey Galloway. Alfonso Smith is there for the pick.
Is that why he pulled down?
No, not yet.
8 plays later here. The Lions down 25-20. So 4th and 1, trying to mount
That's a small jacket.
a comeback. 3:17 left. It is Stafford. Is there any doubt? Calvin Johnson.
You know he's going to find that guy and force it in there, and this big guy will make the play. Best receivers in the league, Prime?
Yeah, second best receiver.
Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson. Good
Stafford,
call,
4
Moochie.
touchdown passes. McNabb.
That's why they
dropped by
pulled down.
Averill.
That's why.
Is that why they pulled down?
That right there.
Because he got hit in the mouth?
Fifth
Led
sack.
to a Lions field goal, 31-25. McNabb bench. It was a coach's decision. He said that Rex Grossman had a better understanding of the 2-minute warning to the point where Kyle Vanden Bosch
roughs him up, and the big fella still almost gets
lucky he's
stopped,
300
but he
pounds.
scores.
Again, Sue scores. Again.
So the Redskins lose.
And the Jets have an opportunity to take first place in the AFC East if they could win the battle of first-round draft picks from a couple of years ago. It's Sanchez and Stafford on the same field for the first time in their playing careers. Lions up 7-3 late second half when the hometown hero from Detroit, Braylon Edwards, makes a big play. 75-yard touchdown. Jets up at halftime, 10-7 in a game that the Lions were dominating.
He's from Detroit. Protect, gave him time. Stafford made the throw.
Third quarter now. Edwards
Those shoulders around.
Gives it back. Tries to switch the ball in his hands as he's being tackled by Louis Delmas and puts the ball on the turf. Fifth fumble of the game for the Jets, but the first that they lost, leading to Jason Hansen's 21-yard field goal. It's good, but there's a flag on the play. Trevor Price called for roughing the kicker. Lions take the points off the board.
Hey, good call.
This kid, Jason Hansen, been their best player over the last decade.
And the next play, job at best. No, it's still in Stafford's hands. Touchdown, but Hansen's still hurt from being roughed. So who comes on to kick the extra point?
Not that, man.
Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong,
your first pick, you ought to be able to do it all.
Are you kidding me? Come on, man. How you been the biggest man on the roster to kick?
Ndamukong Suh, the litigator.
He played soccer, guys. You know what I mean?
He's too big for soccer.
Well, the Lions are up. They need that point later on. They're up 20-10 with 6 minutes to go. Stafford running out of the pocket, tackled by Brian Thomas, and there's that gimpy shoulder again.
I'm still tripping off. Out of all the people on the roster, you pick Ndamukong Suh to kick the extra point.
Well, again, they would need those points because the Jets, with 3:38 to go in a game they were struggling offensively, begin to get some positive plays. Dustin Keller, 25-yard gain, led to a 1-yard sneak by Sanchez to make it a 3-point game. Drew Stafford in relief on third down with the Jets out of timeouts. They elect to throw it.
Stop the clock.
It stops the clock with 1:54 to go. Instead, they could have run it down to a minute to go, and the Jets used that time that they got from Jim Schwartz in a gift wisely. Here is Sanchez checking it down the field. Again, they wouldn't have been able to check it down if they only had a minute to go.
Smart.
LT hit laid out of bounds by Julian Peterson. Tack on 15 more with 40 ticks to go.
Clearly out of bounds.
So 3 plays later, Nick Folk on from 36 yards to cap a 9-play, 60-yard game-time drive, and he got it. We're going to overtime. The Jets pull this one out of their hat, and in overtime, they win the coin toss. They march down the field thanks to one quick play. Strike from Sanchez to Santonio Holmes.
Nice route. Bad angle by the safety on this play.
And just like that, we're in field goal range.
52 yards up the gut. Back comes Nick Folk. And Nick Folk from 30 yards away kicks the game winner. And the Jets do go on top of the AFC East by pulling a big come-from-behind win in Detroit. 6-2 they are over the Patriots. They have the tiebreaker because they beat the Patriots back in Week 1. Both 2 full games ahead of the Miami Dolphins. The only team with an O left in the W column, the Buffalo Bills. Fred Jackson trying to get their first win of the year against the Detroit Lions back in Western New York after losing to Toronto. The Bills getting a nice play. Hookup from Ryan Fitzpatrick to Lee Evans in a scoreless game. That 43-yard hookup led to a Fred Jackson touchdown, the first score of the game. 7-3 when Fred Jackson.
You gotta love the shovel pass.
I like Fred Jackson, man.
Is he primetime carry?
He is.
He's all of that. 133 rush yards and 25 carries. Also got a receiving touchdown to go with that rushing touchdown. Fourth quarter, actually a rushing touchdown over that receiving touchdown. Sean Hill with 17 ticks to go finds Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, just throw it to that guy.
Smart defense, coach. Cover 2, put a linebacker on the best receiver.
Yeah. So got to go for 2 with 14 seconds left. And
keep it alive, keep it alive, keep it alive, keep it in play.
And Bills get their first win of the year. Congratulations to the Buffalo organization.
And that's all, folks.
History to have 30 interceptions. Let's go to Dallas. It's the home debut of interim head coach Jason Garrett taking on the Lions.
Man,
and that's Des Bryant. He is a playmaker.
He's turning into
He's a playmaker of the first sort. Right. A-list playmaker in this league. John Kitna before the end of the half hands off to Felix Jones, who puts the ball on the turf. Kyle Vandenbosch will cover, hits him. DeAndre Levy recovers, and Nate Burleson turned that pick and that turnover into points. So it's 12-7 after the Lions get a safety when Brian McCann takes the ball on a punt, even though John Wendling tipped it for the Lions. It's a live ball for Dallas to pick up and run back for a touchdown.
This is a smart play because the ball's not down just because you tip it. It's the rule of first touch. That's not down yet. You got to tip it down. You got to down it with a whistle on the officials. McCann made a heads-up play 2 games in a row.
Game-changing play. He had the 101 pick 6 last week on Eli Manning. Same score with the Cowboys up 14-12. It's Miles Austin in the end zone.
milk cart.
21-12. Sean Hill had a nice game, 289 yards. Here's a nice touchdown toss to Calvin Johnson.
Caught it all the way. The process was nice.
So the Lions are in this thing 21-19, but don't sleep on the Kitten revenge.
Kitten is good, man. He can play.
I mean, the Packers will probably say otherwise. 28-19 is the score there. And Kitten, untouched rolling out.
Get it in, John.
That's a 29-yard bootleg. And the Cowboys are 2-0 under Garrett.
The New England Patriots are moving on at 9-2. The highlights, Tom Brady getting ready to roll, and his team...
That's Jacques Brady. Until he cuts his hair, it's Jacques Brady.
Couldn't exactly get up to a great start for New England. Lions trailing 3-0. Sean Hill to Calvin Johnson, and why not? You can underthrow him. It's still a touchdown.
And Sean Hill's done a pretty good job filling in. It seems like Sean Hill is a starter, and maybe they're looking to draft another quarterback or something. I'm just kidding.
Patriots down 14-3 in Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. Putting his head down.
That's how you finish off a play right there.
So now it's just 14-10. But at this point, the Lions were bouncing right back. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, though, kind of developed into at least a serviceable back.
Yeah, they got a couple of serviceable backs on the scene. One of them got a little extension, I believe, before the day was earlier on in the day at Woodhead.
Field goal made it 17-10. Third quarter now. Hill to Johnson, intercepted by the rookie Devin McCourty.
Devin McCourty, I think this is the 4th game. He's at his 4th interception on the season. Showing some signs. Gets beat a little bit, but you like to see the guy getting the ball from the defender.
This year, death by paper cut right here. I know it's patience by Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to be able to have the guy to do it. And Tom certainly is that quarterback.
Extra point tied the game at 17. Sean Hill knows he's got his work cut out for him here. 3rd down and 8. Finds his second-year tight end, Brandon Pettigrew, for 24 yards.
Another one of the gems that this organization has bought in. They'll miss a lot of young players. They continue to build the talent on this football team.
We saw Green Ellis running hard here on 4th and 1. Maurice Morris putting his head down. The Lions now leading again by 7.
You got nothing to lose. 4th down. Why not?
Third play of this drive, Tom Brady wants to go right and sneaks a peek to the left, and Deion Branch wide open.
And again, that's one of those plays. But look at the yardage situation. It was 3rd and 2, paper cut, paper cut, paper cut. Deion Branch takes the ball, takes it to the house. Alfonso Smith had a very long day today.
Yeah, acquired from the Broncos earlier in the season. Remember, this is the player that the Broncos just a year and a half ago traded a first-round pick to get in the 2nd round.
We're not going to talk about Denver in that whole thing. We're just going to move on. I'm just going to let that go.
We'll move on to the 4th quarter then. 2nd and 2. Brady in the scene to Deion Branch. 22-yard Patriot touchdown.
Deion at home again, now all of a sudden productive. And that shows you again how great Tom Brady is. He went out to Seattle, did absolutely nothing.
Brady again working the seam. That's the rookie tight end, Rob Gronkowski, for 26 yards. Next play, Brady quickly to Welker. How's this for an easy 6?
Called busted coverage. Caught the Lions. They didn't know where to line up Welker. And of all things, okay, that's not the guy not to know where he's at on the field.
Now, we've already seen one Sean Hill to Devin McCourty interception. There is the second one. This time he takes it back 50 yards, setting up the Patriots 1st and 10 at the Lion 12-yard line.
A lot of good young picks on this defensive team for the New England Patriots. They're just green.
And at this point, you're just keeping it on the ground, and that means Ben Jarvis Green Ellis gets another touchdown, again fighting for yardage. Patriots leading 45-24, and that is the final score. New England making it look easy in the end. Tom Brady, 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
We send you to Detroit, where the Chicago Bears found someone else's 3rd-string quarterback for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. Drew Stanton getting his 2nd career start against the red-hot Jake Cutler and the Chicago Bears. And yet it was Stanton's getting the first points on the board with his leg.
Yeah, the guy from Michigan State with the quarterback.
Is that the quarterback?
I got to tell you, quarterbacks do not dance.
And he needs to go primetime just for that.
A Dougie attempt gets you primetime. As for Cutler and that red-hot offense. Here is Earl Bennett fighting his way on the quick game was really working very well because they had to really pull that out with the way the front four's been rushing the passer this year for Detroit. And then Matt Forte gets it flipped out to him.
He's got more speed than anybody thinks. This guy can scoot.
So the Bears are up 14-10 when, as you could see, the battle was joined by the Lions today. You could see it right away, and certainly with less than a minute to go in the half, and they're deep in their own end. Jabin Best pops out for 45 yards, takes it to the plus side of the field.
This is what happens when a cornerback peeks inside and tries to find something in the backfield. A long play breaks out.
And then the next play, Stanton to Calvin Johnson, and who's going to take him down?
Nobody.
So just like that, 90 yards in a flash. As Johnson stiff-armed half of Chicago on the way in there.
He's a strong 6'5". He's hard to tackle. He's got great speed, strength, and here he goes again in the end zone.
So the Lions are up 17-14. It's 2017 Lions in the fourth quarter, and they've got the ball going for it on third and short. But here comes Julius Peppers and Brian Urlacher to shut the door. But the Lions are going for it. Why wouldn't Jim Schwartz go for it? I mean, he's doing 16, right? Well, here comes Stanton. Flips it to Nate Burleson. Incomplete. Lions turn the ball over on downs. Bears next possession. 1st and 10. And the Lions 22, less than 10 minutes to go. Cutler rolling right.
Watch out behind you. It's a man.
Dominican Sue hits him down. There's a flag on the play. Now,
nothing wrong with this.
There isn't anything wrong with this.
This is a violent
When Ed says it's a penalty,
it's not a shoulder. He shoved him down, and it looked like he hit him on both shoulders.
Has on equipment.
Yeah, it's a judgment call. The official has to make that quickly on the field.
I think that's why those should be.
It looked violent, but it wasn't.
Well, at any rate, it would have been 3rd and 1 anyway if there wasn't a penalty, but the fresh set of downs certainly did help the Bears as they put the ball in the end zone. On the next play, Brandon Manu. Meanwhile, the Packers were in Detroit, right? So if the Bears were going to lose, this was an easy way for them to get even in the NFC North. Think about it.
Very easy.
Even if they, played earlier in the day, they knew that the Bears would have a tough game at home against the Patriots, and this was the play that potentially changed the Packers' season. As Rodgers gets his head slammed into the turf by Landon Johnson, and Rodgers suffers a concussion, he would come out for one more series. He would not return. So it's Matt Flynn in the game now.
Matt who?
Matt Flynn in the game now. Only up 3-0, and DeAndre Levy takes that easy pick in the end.
That Matt Flynn. That's the one.
That's the Matt Flynn, everyone.
Okay.
So the Packers are still up 3-0. The Lions are in their third-string quarterback in Drew Stanton. But it's Will Heller on the screen here.
Great blocking.
Very well set up. They're going down like dominoes. Touchdown, Lions.
12 plays, 80 yards. Lions have lost 19 straight games in their division, and here they have a chance to knock off the Packers at home, and they do just that. As Matt Flynn cannot connect with Greg Jennings, and it is a stunner.
Big game for the Buccaneers at home hosting the Lions. They're 8-5. They're trying to stay in the playoff race. First quarter, second Lions possession. Drew Stanton back to pass, and he finds Calvin Johnson over the middle. That's a first down and a gain of 20. It would be a huge game for Megatron. That took the ball down to the 55 plays later. This time he finds Nate Burleson muscling his way into the end zone. A 10-yard score. Nice effort by Burleson. His 5th touchdown of the season puts the Lions up 7-0 on the road. Second quarter, same score, a big 4th and 2. And the Buccaneers looking to pass it, and that is complete. Josh Freeman to Aurelius Ben for a gain of 13 down to the 24. Converts the first down for Tampa Bay. Next play, 1st and 10 at the Lions 24, and that is Mike Williams, the rookie from Syracuse, getting into the end zone for the 8th time on the season, ties the game at 7. Next, Buccaneers possession. Look at LeGarrette Blount with the shakes. Looks like he's down. No, he stays on his feet. How did he do it? LeGarrette Blount into the end zone. May have been his best play of the year, a 39-yard score. Buccaneers go up 14-7. They would lead at the half, 14-10. But then in the third quarter, Lions with the end around to Nate Burleson, and he gains 25 all the way down to the 21. So the Lions are in business. 5 plays later, the give to Maurice Morris, a 10-yard score. Lions take the lead, 17-14, looking to knock off the Buccaneers and win on the road. in the fourth quarter. A 2nd and 15 at the Lions 39, and LeGarrette Blount takes off for a gain of 27. How did he do it? He is so physical, you have to bring him down with about 5 guys. That would lead to a field goal to tie up the game. Next Tampa Bay possession, 5 minutes left in the game, and that is complete. Freeman to Michael Spurlock, a gain in 19, and that would lead to a Buccaneers field goal. They're up 20-17, but Detroit would come back on the ensuing possession. 42 seconds left, high and skying for the grab. Calvin Johnson, a gain of 22. That would lead to a field goal to tie up the game and send it to overtime, where Detroit continued to work with the passing game. Drew Stanton finding guess who? Calvin Johnson once again, a gain of 12. He had a huge game, 10 catches, 152 yards. And Dave Rayner setting up for the 34-yard field goal in overtime in sudden death. And that would end it. Lions win it 23-20. Buccaneers are now 8-6. The 7-7 Dolphins hosting the Lions. They are both playing for pride. Miami 1-6 at home on the season, but they have won 5 in a row against Detroit. Lions looking to win 3 in a row for the first time since 2007. First quarter, Lions forced to punt, and they kick to Devon Best, who returns it to the right side, dancing around, hit hard. He was drilled by Ashley Palmer. Ball comes up loose. Excellent field position for Detroit. They turned it into a field goal, going up 3-0 on the road. Then Sean Hill's favorite weapon, Brandon Pettigrew, got it done. The touchdown catch, his 4th of the season. Detroit goes up 10-3 on the road. But Miami coming back. Lusaka Polite, how about his first career rushing touchdown to tie up the game at 10, capping off an 11-play, 80-yard impressive drive for Miami. Their offense was not done. The ball tipped with 30 seconds to go in the half into the hands of Devon Best, ruled a touchdown on the field. There was a booth review because Best's foot did go out of bounds, but because the ball was deflected, the ruling on the field stands with a touchdown. Miami up 17-10 at the half. Chad Henne playing well so far. Third quarter down by 7. Lions looking to get back in the ballgame. How about an excellent grab by Calvin Johnson? How many times have we seen him do that this season? Nice catch falling out of bounds, a 16-yard gain. Miami challenged the call, but Johnson maintained possession as he fell to the turf. Ruling on the field upheld. It led to a Maurice Morris 5-yard score. Lions tie the game at 17. 1st and 10 at the 29. Chad Henne going to work. He finds Mickey Schuler Jr. Who? That's right, his first career reception led to a Ronnie Brown touchdown. Dolphins up 24-17. They added a field goal, so Detroit down by 10. Under 5 minutes to go. Sean Hill with the dump off. Javon Best is there, getting some blocking down the field. Takes it into the end zone. A 53-yard score. Nate Burleson with a beautiful blocking down the field. Cleared a path for Best. His first touchdown since week 2. That's what turf toe will do to you. Only down by 3 when Chad Henne was intercepted with under 4 minutes to go. Could the comeback be on for Detroit? You betcha. They kick a field goal to tie it. And then Chad Henne again. What are you doing? DeAndre Levy still on his feet. He could take it in himself. And he did just that. A 34-27 lead for Detroit. Miami blowing this one. They only have 25 seconds left. The pass complete down the field. Chad Henne looking to move his men down the field. They need a touchdown to tie it. And then they go to Ronnie Brown, but the tackle is made, and Nathan Vasher keeps Brown in bounds. Miami trying to get to the line of scrimmage. They only have 1 play left here to get it done. Clock is ticking. The referee trying to spot the ball. He doesn't spot it until time expires, and that's how the game ended. 2 costly interceptions by Chad Henne and 1 great tackle by Nathan Vasher, and Detroit has a 3-game winning streak. NFC North battle to close out the regular season. Vikings at Detroit. Brett Favre inactive with a concussion, likely his last game of a 20-year career. Leslie Frazier likely to wind up as the head coach of the Vikings, but his team got off to a slow start. Detroit marching the ball all the way down the field, but Tony Scheffler fumbled the ball at the goal line. and it was ruled a touchback for Minnesota, so they get the ball. 2 possessions later, still scoreless in the second quarter, very low scoring to start out the game. Joe Webb scrambling towards his left, throws across his body, did not get enough behind the throw, intercepted by Amari Spivey for Detroit. Joe Webb, 148 yards passing, and that pick. No touchdown passes in the game. Slow game for him. But Nate Burleson had a game when he wasn't catching passes. He was taking end arounds. Nice move by him. 20-yard pickup for Nate Burleson led to a field goal. Detroit gets on the board up 3-0. Their next possession, same score. Sean Hill improvising, finds Tony Scheffler, and this time Scheffler gets inbounds and holds on to the ball. A first down at the 12. 3 plays later, Sean Hill looking to the right side, and in traffic, Nate Burleson with a man hanging off of him makes the touchdown catch. And the Lions go up 10-0 on the Vikings at home. Burleson with 83 yards and that touchdown in the game. But under pressure, Sean Hill made the mistake. An interception. Jared Allen returning it all the way for the score. His 4th career touchdown. First career interception return for a touchdown. And that cut the deficit to 6. A close game. 13-10 in the 4th quarter. Sean Hill looking to increase the lead. A nice diving grab by Bryant Johnson. A 23-yard gain. Leslie Frazier challenged the ruling on the field of a catch, but the right elbow did come down slightly in bounds before his knee rolled out of bounds. First down at the 5. Then the very next play, Maurice Morris, a touchdown in 3 straight games for the Lions. They finished the year on a 4-game winning streak, win 20-10. Both teams finished 6-10.